We're going to start this serious.
All right.
Okay? Deplane! No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Deplane!
I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Mike, and this is Larry, and welcome to the Movie Cranks.
Yes.
And then it has the plane go.
Deplane!
No, we can't do anything that crazy.
Oh my god. So, Fantasy Island.
Yeah, so tonight we saw Fantasy Island, Larry. We had nothing else really to choose from. I heard The Lodge.
It made me feel anger, and I hated this film. And honestly, when it was over, I cursed at the screen, and the audience laughed.
Was an absolute train wreck garbage
And
fire.
this one, we were actually thinking about seeing this one yesterday, and it wasn't even playing anywhere, even on Thursday night, and that was not a good start. That made us really worried.
It made us cautionary because there was no showings anywhere.
What kind of expectations did you have going into this one?
Very low.
I
went low as in I've come off of January, and I was expecting more of January. That's where I was going with this because I didn't watch anything on the internet. I didn't read any reviews. I never do anymore. I don't look at anything beforehand. I go in clean. And when they landed that plane and got off, and the dialogue started, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Oh, you know what?
We're in for a trip.
For me, though, I went in with very low expectations.
Oh, very low.
And I think that actually is part of what helped me through this.
Yeah, rock bottom.
Because I didn't really completely hate the movie. I thought
it was not hateable.
Yeah, I mean, there's things in the movie I like.
Yeah.
But I can definitely see why this has, like a 11% on Rotten Tomatoes, 54% in the audience.
We know why.
I mean, mostly because of the dialogue and the story.
They tried. The whole first part.
Because I did see something about horror, adventure comedy.
Yeah,
Before I went in, I was like, oh no, that don't sound right. I just want a horror movie. I thought this was supposed to be Fantasy Island's take on a horror, and they just kind of go comedy, horror.
Light.
Yeah, real light. Kind of almost like
the action scenes, the comedy. Everything they did was either half-assed or just cheap.
There is an elevator. In the elevator, you press the button to the floor with no name. Behind those doors, there's a life you always dreamt of.
It still added up to be something that wasn't boring. It wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, the best way to explain it to you, because we talked about it coming out.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. He saw the same thing. It's definitely not as good, but there's some kind of sense of cabin in the woods in here.
Yeah, there's a sense of that. Well, you could feel the footprint all over this. It's the weird vibe you get throughout the whole thing. It's the cameras and the surveillance and the evil background stuff going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's all the shady shit going on, but you're in this weird fantasy place that with women and drinks and all your dreams.
And I ain't gonna lie, I did like watching some of these fantasies unfold.
Yeah.
Like the story with the woman, Maggie Q. I don't know her actual name in the movie. That's how much I'm remembering.
Gwen Olsen.
But I liked that whole kind of storyline, kind of where it was going.
Here's what you got. We can't say a lot about this because it's spoiler territory. The whole thing is. So we're going to
explain it is everybody on this island is in their fantasy.
Yeah, we're just going to be general here.
Yeah.
You have a group of people that get off a plane, and they're here at this island resort, and there's no real backstory to what's going on. They just land and get out, and there's the island. And, I mean, right away... Michael Pena comes walking out with his white suit
Mr.
and he's
Roarke.
ready to go. And then you find out they're there, they're handpicked, and they all get to choose one fantasy that they want to live. Which in itself is cool. They've done this sort of wish thing and trading places kind of deal where you suddenly become somebody else or something happens like someone you love comes back to life. It's similar to that. That's what's intriguing about the whole story. That's the cool thing. You want to see this play out because it gets weird.
What was your favorite storyline?
It was probably the main actress. Maggie Q. Maggie Q's storyline involved her trying to fix her broken marriage and try to have the child that she always wanted. That part, she is such a great actress that this was just, I felt like she elevated way above this.
Is this just for me?
What is called Fantasy Island for a reason. A place where anything and everything is possible, you said. What you didn't say is how.
Mr. Roarke tailors each fantasy specifically to the guest.
Based on a one-page questionnaire.
And it is probably the fantasy I would probably choose.
Yeah.
But the worst fantasy in here is those two brothers. I mean, I ain't gonna lie, they're just annoying.
They're
Throughout
supposed to be the
whole
comic
thing.
relief.
Yeah.
It's comedians that didn't work. They weren't funny together, and they certainly weren't funny when they were apart.
Yeah.
And they were just annoying. The dialogue was real shoddy. It felt like someone that was my age, because I'm old, is doing something like making up what a 20-year-old would be doing.
Yeah. Well, that's what this movie. I feel like it's really targeted towards a younger audience. That's why it's PG-13.
Yes.
I seen a kid in there. It looked like he was 6, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
But it is that target audience. I feel like it's probably about 15 to maybe like 24, 25.
Yeah. We should lay that out. The demographics. There's really no blood. The violence is sort of like CGI fake blood that you can tell is not real blood.
The island wants them all together.
I think this is someone else's fantasy.
The island ain't what you think it is.
And a lot of the events that happen, like they're going to cut off a finger.
Yeah, it always
They
gets
don't.
close. Never happens.
Yeah, there's all these close-ups, and oh my god, something's like a guy with a knife is about ready to stab someone in the throat.
Never happens.
Might happen off screen. So
and then, there is one where somebody gets shot. There's like a little a little bead
he
of
goes,
blood right here.
Oh no! It was just dumbed down humor for teenagers. It's a stoner kind of cabin in the woods feel, and we keep going back to that because it has that same dialogue was kind of up and down. You had some characters that were kind of flaky, but let's just say this. It had that weird element that kept you wondering what the hell is going on.
Yeah, well, I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm going, I feel like there's a little more Fantasy Island in here than I actually originally expected. I thought it was going to be more just like horror.
Well, I thought it was going to be completely based on realism, but there's a lot of fantasy, sci-fi elements to this. And we're not going to go into spoilers, but let's just say this island has certain properties that it's not considered human.
It has a dark crystal.
Let's just throw that out there.
That's not a spoiler. There's a dark crystal in this.
It has a dark crystal, and that's all we can say.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. See, we didn't watch one movie. This was like 4 or 5 separate movies. Let's start with them. We had the lady, Maggie.
Yep.
Maggie was the one in her family. Then you had the soldier boy, Austin Stowell. He wanted to be like his dad and be a hero and be a soldier, even though he was like a cop. So you had that.
And then you got the girl too that wants revenge.
Wants revenge. You saw in the commercial. That's the one everyone sees, is the girl wanting revenge. And that's the one.
That's the main one.
A lot of people are going to, it focuses a lot of them too.
Yeah.
And I hate to say this, as lovely as they are, I found both of them kind of annoying the whole movie.
A variety of buttons for a variety of revenge. Let's have some fun. Oh my god. Stop! This is not what I meant!
The Portia Doubleday story. To me, I actually enjoyed that one. I didn't hate that one. More now the Lucy Hales one. I don't know if I just didn't like her character.
It's the character.
And because that character is involved in some twists and turns in the story, which you do get. Which actually, I think that's really where I kind of was like, oh, nah.
Yeah, the twists and the turns weren't getting good payoffs.
Yeah.
It was just kind of like, oh, okay, great.
You're going to kind of expect almost everything, and everything unfolds and happens in this movie. You're going to pretty much expect it.
You kind of see
it coming from a mile away.
Their action kept coming once in a while.
A lot of hot models.
Yeah, it had models and everything too. Had that element. It had parties and models and beer and drugs and had all that. But the thing is, the parts they tried to make action-wise were not that good. The combat scenes where he was living out his combat...
God. That was just cheesy. That almost seemed like it was 1970s.
It was television. It was
Fantasy Island.
It was like A-Team. Yeah. That level of combat, it was like coming off of a helicopter and going bang, bang, bang. And,
you can feel that they're actually in a small area. Yeah. That they're on a small island. They're not actually out in, like, where were they supposed to be? Like Colombia or something?
Venezuela or something.
Yeah, Venezuela. You don't get the feeling they're in Venezuela. You feel like they're on the island.
Yeah.
And that's where that story kind of missed the point, because all the other ones, you really do. She opens the doors, Maggie Q, and her remember she opens the doors and she walks into the room and she's back to where she used to be. It's got a magical element.
Yeah,
it's a magical, it's kind of trippy, where that one just didn't have that at all.
The military one, it was the bullets, the shooting, the gun violence, the whole army thing was just not well done.
The island ain't what you think it is.
I must say, here's one thing I will say about the ending. When it happens, we had a lot of groans in our theater. Like, it was just like, oh, is that it? It was like nothing really happened. It was just all over with, and nothing happened. There was no consequences, it felt like.
Yeah, except
anything.
It all leads up to sequel bait. That's pretty much a get.
Did they shoot down one of the planes?
They did. Oh, I forgot that.
Yeah.
How are people going to get to the island now? They have to buy a new plane.
I don't know. The violence was real PG. By the way, the bad guys in this, they wear masks and stuff. They felt like Batman characters. They did.
They do. Do you know there actually is a good bad guy in this movie that I did like? Kim Coates. I just like the guy.
He's
as a villain
actor. He's a great bad guy. Yeah, Sons of Anarchy. He was fantastic.
Yeah, I wish he'd have been a little bit bigger part of all this.
Yes. Yeah. That's the thing. He could have been the central bad guy, and they could have focused on just one or two things and have been perfect.
I bet you'd love to see someone named Kim in a bikini. Well, my name's Kim. And this is a Dos Equis Dos Ahorita.
Yeah. But with them smashing this massive plate of gunk.
They could have got rid of a couple of those stories, maybe just one or two.
And here's the other thing. It felt like it was made for, like, FX. It felt like it was a network studio production.
Yeah, I could have seen this one maybe go VOD.
Yeah. Yes, it felt like a Sharknado.
But that's Blumhouse for you.
Yeah. You know? The quality was Sharknado level. Like, it wasn't visually that bad, but the dialogue and some of the acting and stuff was pretty rough.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm still weird though, because I still don't hate the movie.
No, I don't either. I don't hate it. I just wish it had come together a little bit better.
Yeah,
I mean,
what kind of score would you give it though?
I was initially walking out giving it a D+, but I had to remember they did have Maggie Q in about 22 different varieties of loungewear. The entire movie. What was that about? Okay, I just...
Well, there's other spots in this movie where they have stuff like that too.
Strange, because she didn't get dressed the whole movie. Who goes around in the jungle and walking around places and just like swimwear? I don't know what she was wearing. So I don't know, but that brought it up to a C-.
Actually brought up your score.
Yeah. It could have been a whole lot better. I've seen worse. We've seen worse this year. So I'm going to have to go with a C-.
Yeah, we've definitely seen worse this year.
Yeah.
It was still, I think my thing is, it was still entertaining. I still felt a lot of Fantasy Island.
But would you pay $20 or $30 to go see it in the theater.
No.
That's why we do it for you.
I would definitely wait for rental or streaming or something.
Just wait for it to be on TV.
Yeah,
It'll be out on video probably in 3 months.
Yeah. But I think for me, because I did grow up watching Fantasy Island, that the island fantasy stories, how it was kind of all put together, how one fantasy kind of merges into another, I didn't think it was really that bad. For me, I'm just going to score it. I'm going to go ahead and give it a C. Good. I wouldn't really recommend going out to the movies and seeing it. If they're on streaming, I'd check it out.
Yeah.
I mean, I would check it out. I would watch it again with my
It's
dad.
a creepy watch, like, that has some suspense and that. I mean, when you're trying to figure out what's going on, it's a creepy kind of suspense thing where you don't know who's who, who's going to kill who, any of that stuff. So that part's fun.
Do us a big favor. Check us out on Facebook.
Yep.
Subscribe here.
We're almost to 1,000.
Oh my God.
We're almost there. Thank you to all the people that went and watched the Sonic video. It was a big one for us. We had a lot of people that were commenting.
we don't
sending videos.
We don't
stuff
usually
to
get
us.
movie reviews that go over 1,000,
Yeah.
especially in one day.
People don't
We
care
usually
about,
get like
they want
20.
the reactions, Larry. That's what they want.
I like doing both. So, anyways, guys, do us a favor, subscribe. But until next time, that's all we got.
Yep.
We'll see you later.
Peace.